So welcome to SQL and databases. Now, this course is very different from the previous course. We're not going to write any HTML. We're not going to write any PHP. We're not going to write any CSS. And we're not even going to talk about the request response cycle. What we're going to do is learn a whole new computer language, SQL, structured query language, the way that we talk to database servers. Now, the interesting thing is there's the first class, which is PHP and HTML and all that, and then there's this SQL class. And you literally can take those two classes in either order. So if you have stumbled into this class and you don't know anything about HTML and CSS or PHP, it's fine. So these two classes can be done in any order, but you have to do both the first class and the second class to be ready for the third class. And so in the third class, we combine PHP and SQL together. And so if you don't know the two pieces, it's going to seem really crazy. Now, if you have never done SQL before, and maybe you know a couple of programming languages, maybe you know Python, and maybe you know PHP and HTML and CSS, I think you're in for a treat. If you've watched my other classes, I am at times apologetic. Sometimes I will say, yeah, I'm a little sorry about how this works, but it's okay. Just put those parentheses in because it's what you gotta do. I never apologize for SQL. SQL to me is the most beautiful programming language that I use. It is super powerful, it is super expressive, and it makes sense. I often tell my students on campus that I teach you Python before I teach you SQL, because if I taught you SQL, you would refuse to learn Python. And that's because the way humans think is, I want this. And what we do in SQL is we say, I want this. And so it feels very human. Now, if you fall in love with SQL like I have, you'll think, oh, well, then I'm going to write every program in SQL. It turns out that SQL is kind of a higher level language, and that's why it's so beautiful, but you really can't write everything in SQL. So you still need to learn JavaScript, and you still need to learn PHP, and you still need to learn Python. And so, like I said, this course is essential to prepare you for the next course, the databases and PHP course. That third course is where we sort of crash it all together, right? And that, I wish I could start at that third course, because at the end you've built a real functioning database application, a CRUD, create, read, update, and delete application. But for now, you need to learn SQL and just learn SQL by itself and enjoy it, and then we will really apply it to build applications in a bit. So thanks for your interest in the class. Let us know in the forums if there's any problems or if anything's broken. I love to fix stuff, and if you need to get a hold of me in a hurry, just tweet me with @DrChuck, and I usually see that in just a few minutes. So again, thanks for coming to class, and we'll see you at the end.